At the Masters tournament, tradition, discipline, and decorum are not just encouraged, they are expected. Held annually at the iconic Augusta National Golf Club, the Masters is widely regarded as one of the most prestigious and exclusive events in professional golf. Every detail, from the manicured fairways to the patrons' behavior, is carefully regulated to preserve the tournament's unique identity. Unlike many other sporting events where crowd enthusiasm can become loud and unruly, Augusta National maintains a calm, respectful atmosphere, often described as a sanctuary for the sport. This commitment to order and etiquette was once again highlighted during the 2026 edition of the Masters, when a disruptive incident involving a fan led to swift law enforcement action. The situation served as a reminder that Augusta National enforces its rules strictly and without exception, regardless of the circumstances. According to reports from the Augusta Press, a 36-year-old man named Matthew Stroud, a resident of Easley, South Carolina, arrived at Augusta National in an intoxicated state on the morning of the tournament. The incident began at the North Gate entrance, one of the main access points for patrons entering the grounds. Around 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Stroud was seen approaching individuals waiting in line and began loudly requesting tickets to gain entry into the event. At first, his behavior appeared to be more of a nuisance than a threat. However, as time passed, it escalated into persistent harassment. Witnesses reported that he repeatedly approached patrons, pressuring them to give up or sell their tickets, something strictly prohibited under Augusta National's rules. His conduct quickly drew the attention of nearby security personnel and deputies from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, who are tasked with maintaining order during the tournament. Law enforcement officers approached Stroud and instructed him to leave the premises due to his behavior and apparent intoxication. Initially, he complied with their request and exited the area without further incident. However, the situation took a turn shortly afterward. According to Captain Scott Gay of the Richmond County Sheriff's Department, Stroud returned to the same area not long after being asked to leave. Upon his return, he resumed his disruptive actions, once again approaching patrons and asking for tickets. This time, his behavior was more aggressive and persistent, causing discomfort among those waiting to enter the grounds. Deputies intervened a second time and instructed him to leave immediately. However, unlike the first encounter, Stroud refused to comply. His refusal to follow lawful orders escalated the situation, leaving law enforcement with little choice but to take further action. He was subsequently arrested near 2600 Washington Road, close to the famed Magnolia Lane entrance, a symbolic gateway to Augusta National that represents the prestige and tradition of the Masters. The arrest was carried out on charges related to criminal trespassing and disorderly conduct, both of which are taken seriously within the context of the tournament. Following his arrest, Stroud was transported to the Charles B. Webster Detention Center, where he was processed and held for a period of time. Later that same day, he was released after posting a bond of $285. While the financial penalty may seem relatively minor, the consequences of such actions at Augusta National often extend far beyond a simple fine. Individuals who violate the club's code of conduct risk being permanently banned from attending the Masters in the future, a significant loss given the event's exclusivity and global appeal. This incident underscores a fundamental difference between the Masters and many other golf tournaments, particularly those on the PGA Tour. Events such as the WM Phoenix Open are famous for their energetic and sometimes rowdy crowds. At the Phoenix Open, fans often cheer loudly, celebrate enthusiastically, and even engage in playful antics, especially at the iconic 16th hole. In contrast, the Masters operates under a completely different philosophy. At Augusta National, silence during shots is strictly observed, mobile phones are prohibited, and patrons are expected to behave with the utmost respect for players, officials, and fellow spectators. Even minor infractions can result in removal from the grounds. The strict enforcement of these rules is not merely about maintaining order, it is about protecting the brand and legacy of the Masters. For decades, the tournament has cultivated an image of elegance, tradition, and exclusivity. Any behavior that disrupts this carefully maintained environment is seen as a threat to that identity. One area where Augusta National is particularly vigilant is ticketing. Unlike most modern sporting events, Masters tickets are not widely available through online platforms or resale markets. Instead, they are distributed through a highly selective lottery system or directly through the club. Each ticket is a physical item, often worn on a lanyard around the patron's neck, and must be displayed at all times while on the premises. The club has a strict policy prohibiting the resale or transfer of tickets through unauthorized channels. In fact, Augusta National Incorporated is the only authorized seller of Masters tickets. Any attempt to buy or sell tickets through third-party platforms can result in immediate revocation of the tickets and expulsion from the grounds. This policy is clearly communicated to all attendees. The official Masters website explicitly warns that individuals who acquire tickets from unauthorized sources may be denied entry or removed from the tournament, regardless of whether they were aware of the rules. In recent years, Augusta National has taken additional steps to crack down on ticket scalping and unauthorized sales. For example, it has restricted the availability of Masters tickets on popular resale platforms, even those that are otherwise considered legitimate in the sports ticketing industry. These measures are designed to maintain control over ticket distribution and ensure that access to the event remains fair and secure. Despite these efforts, some individuals continue to attempt to circumvent the system. In 2025, several patrons were removed from the grounds after being found in possession of tickets obtained through unauthorized means. Many of these individuals reported being questioned by officials about how they acquired their passes before being escorted out. The consequences of violating ticketing rules can be severe. In one notable case from 2012, 24 individuals were arrested for scalping tickets within a restricted area near Augusta National. The operation was part of a broader crackdown on illegal ticket sales during the tournament. Even more striking was a case in 2020 involving a man from Texas who orchestrated a scheme to obtain fraudulent Masters tickets and resell them for profit. He was eventually sentenced to 28 months in federal prison. Members of his family who were involved in the operation received probation sentences and were ordered to pay more than $275,000 in restitution. These examples illustrate the lengths to which Augusta National is willing to go to protect the integrity of the Masters. The club's zero-tolerance policy applies not only to disruptive behavior but also to any activity that undermines its rules and traditions. The arrest of Matthew Stroud during the 2026 Masters is the latest example of this unwavering commitment. While his actions may not have been as elaborate or financially motivated as some past incidents, they still represented a clear violation of the tournament's code of conduct. By acting quickly and decisively, both law enforcement and Augusta National officials reinforced an important message: the Masters is a privilege, not a right. Those who attend are expected to respect the rules, the players, and the experience as a whole. For many golf fans, attending the Masters is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The demand for tickets far exceeds supply, and those fortunate enough to secure entry are expected to uphold the values that make the event so special. Incidents like this serve as a reminder that even a single individual's behavior can have broader implications for the tournament's atmosphere. Ultimately, the Masters remains one of the most revered events in sports precisely because of its commitment to tradition and discipline. Whether it's enforcing silence during a critical putt or removing a disruptive fan from the premises, Augusta National continues to prioritize the integrity of the experience above all else. As the 2026 tournament unfolds, the focus will undoubtedly return to the players and the competition on the course. But moments like this, while unfortunate, highlight the importance of preserving what makes the Masters truly unique.